We just beat Golden Demon, tripling their entry count while hosting our first ever painting competition. It's been a hell of a week. Let's talk about it. Okay, obviously the thumbnail and title is poking fun. We love Golden Demon, but hear us out here. 2 months ago, we just launched our first ever painting competition with the goal of celebrating the creativity of our wonderful community. A painting competition our way. Never in our wildest dream we'd thought we'd hit 1,000 entries. And reaching almost 3,000 feels just freakishly insane. And in this video, not only are we going to have to judge all these 3,000 entries, but we're also going to have to pick which minis are the absolute best and are gonna win Best in Show. So I did a quick calculation. If we spend 5 minutes per entry, that would be 240 hours just going through the entries. So we're gonna have to do quite a rough first cut. It's gonna be cutting off maybe 2/3 of all entries before we go in and like spend time on every mini. But even with that, it's probably gonna be at least a full week's work for me. And then on top of that, we have 4 other judges that are gonna have to spend probably 2 days of work. I'm just gonna get started, grind through the first like cut. It's gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to be harsh just because of the sheer amount of entries, but hopefully we're gonna end up with some awesome winners. I sat down to figure out the best way to make the judging process faster for all 5 judges. I asked Matt Avis, who created the system for us, if he could create like a first cut system. That would make it possible for one of the judges to go through all the entries and push forward all the ones that has something unique creatively or is to a technical, really high level. Which would make it possible to quickly just push entries forward that has a technical application to a really high standard or that comes with something unique creatively. In standard, that meant that I would push forward about 35% of the entries through the first cut, and I was able to do so without having to spend more than 30 seconds per entry on average. What I found going through these 750 entries the first day is that the main thing that I find that people do wrong, why they will not be able to make the first cut, is that they've taken on too big shoes. Meaning that maybe the first time you enter a painting competition, maybe don't do OSL, NMM, and every difficult technique under the sun. Focus the first time on just making neat applications, making sure that your mini looks clean. That is going to save you so much headache for the later steps when you start adding more difficult things. And the second one being just photography. You know what? We've done a video about photographing minis. It doesn't have to be hard. One lamp, your phone, and you should be good. Let's take a look at this. Finally done with single mini. It is now time for large mini, but dudes, have a look at this. So many minis made the first cut. Pretty insane. This was still a lengthy process. It would be many days of work just for the first cut. Some days I even spent the evenings just going through the process in my couch in the living room. Obviously, when you do this type of cutting, some entries you have to look more than 30 seconds. You have a second or a third look to make the final judging. And even with that, some stuff I would send to Lucas and have him judge when I couldn't decide if it would move forward or not through the first cut. Because the sheer amount, after a few days of work, I got Lucas involved, making the first cuts in one of the categories.
Okay people, I have just spent way too much time siphoning through all the like 700 entries for the unit/diorama category. And I know that Emil has already been on you guys about the quality and how you freaking take your pictures. So I'm not gonna bash you about that one. However,
if you send in pictures unlimited.
pushing up the contrast and
Lucas,
don't do it.
That one I do agree with.
Just
It's
stop
speaking
it.
now.
Get your shit together.
I do agree with you. I do think that because the composition is definitely master level composition.
The light
the
placement.
color composition and the light placement is really, really good. It's at least gonna be a commended probably in masters, which means that the commended in master it's better than gold in standard. We do have a few like that because I have one here as well that I was thinking of moving up to masters just because the skin tones is just very unique. This is to me too creative to be in standard. It has a very, very unique style and I really like it. And speaking of painting competitions, you know, often in life I feel overwhelmed. Having this type of business, running hundreds of projects at the same time, it can be difficult to balance. And if you've ever felt the same, this week's paid partner, BetterHelp, can make your life easier. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy more comfortable and convenient. And you can connect with therapists from their diverse network of credentialed professionals with a wide variety of specialities and backgrounds. If you feel like you need to talk to someone, just fill out the questionnaire form on their website and you will be matched with a therapist within days. One of the best things is if you feel like you've been matched with someone that doesn't really fit your personality, you can easily switch therapist at no extra cost to you until you found the right one. With over 7,000 reviews and over 4.5 as a grade on Trustpilot, is a platform that helped so many people throughout the years. Start fresh any day of the year with BetterHelp. Click the link down in the description or go to betterhelp.com/Squidmar to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Now let's get back to judging minis. And if you need some after you've been cut, go follow the link. So with that, the first cut was done, but we still had about 1,200 entries left, which would be an insane amount to spend 5 minutes per entry. I would still be 2 weeks of full work for every single judge. So what we ended up doing is going through all of the ones through the first cut a second time. This time I would go through the categories that Lucas had gone through, and Lucas would do the categories that I had gone through. With that second cut, we now had about 1,000 entries left to judge, which means that we were ready for the first meeting with all of the judges. Meet Angelo Di Cello, Albert Moreto Font, and Dave Caldwell. 3 of the best and most renowned painters in the world. 3,000 entries was a little bit more than we would have expected.
I don't know though why. Superstar, I would have totally expected this.
As the competition for me and Lucas is about creativity first and doing something unique that makes you want to look twice, celebrating awesome painters and artists doing amazing stuff, it was important for us to discuss the vision with everyone. As an example, in Masters, when you reach a certain technical level, it is more about how creative are you within that level that is most important. And the same goes for standard. Once you reach a certain level of skill, it is more about the creativity, the things that makes us look twice, if the colors give us extra feelings, or if you have a conversion that makes us just want to build more minis our own. That is what is most important. If we go into this one as an example, and we see, okay, this one is good enough to still be in there, then we just leave it.
Okay, we leave it and then I would go to my column and give it whatever I think this is worth.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine, because if you're going through it now, you might as well give it, okay, I think this will be a gold. Then you give it a gold now, and you can always go back and change it later. Everything is going to have a score. So we'll have gold will be 4 points, silver will be 3 points, bronze will be 2 points, and commended will be 1 point. So we will have the highest score at the top, and then when we go through them together, it will be easier to see. Take care, guys. Nice meeting you. Hope everything is good. Bye-bye. Every judge is now going through all of the entries, which means that they have 1,000 entries that they have to go through and give their first rating: gold, silver, bronze, commended, etc. Meaning that this is when we are going to start seeing which entries are going to start climbing to the top. And to me, this was probably the most difficult part. Simply just because of how high the level is. Like, where is the level for silver? Where is the level for gold? And especially in standard, where there is so freaking many entries. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say it in this video, but it was a mountainous task. I honestly don't really know where to start with this talk, because I am just so freaking happy with the turnout. How impressed I am with the quality, how many epic first-time competitors there were in the competition. I am so impressed with how many people stepped out of their comfort zone and entered minis and have never done that before. This is our community. It's you guys watching these videos every week. I just wanted to say I'm so excited that you guys want to be part of our little online life, the small community that we have in the grand scheme of things. I'm so thankful for it. But now we're gonna have to finalize everything. We have a few more categories left to judge, and then we'll be ready to have the final meeting to just set the final results. And with that, the selection started coming to an end, but there are still a few entries that needs further discussions, where one or two of the judges feel strongly about certain entries and want to convince the others a third time to look at the entries and maybe push it up 1 or 2 steps, because they just feel that it has a quality that the others have overseen. To me, it's like a toss-up between the Goblin Rider and the Skelly Boys. So right now I'm kind of, I would like to hear again maybe if you feel strongly about one of them, which one you prefer, because it's like, right now it's a 1 point difference.
Personally, I like the Goblin better for emotional reasons. I mean, it really captured the feeling. It looks like a Goblin. I mean, the painting is so believable, and I really like the execution. In some parts, the skeletons, although technically wonderful, they're a bit rough somewhere.
Angelo, you might have actually swayed me in the voting for this one.
If you look at the non-metallic metal, even the one on the knee, the part of the knee, the face on the knee, it's not as good executed as the rest.
The elbow of the big one. You look at the hand of the tiny guy on the back. But it's also standard. I'm
changing my mind toward the skeletons. Because looking better and hearing you guys, I mean, the skeletons, there is more efforts on all the pieces.
Yeah.
All the parts.
And it just kind of stands out, because it's one of those pieces that I saw it quite early in the judging process, and it stayed with me all the time. And for being a standard entry, I think that's kind of a good sign.
Yeah. And the discussion for the final selections would continue like this for hours.
All right.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good
Bye.
one.
Okay, Emil, we are ready for some announcements of all the amazing winners in the Best in Show, Best of Zona, Best Atmosphere, Best of, and you know, the bestest of.
Yes, Lucas, but before we start with the best of the best, let's begin with the standard entry. And there's a few things to consider. If you won gold this year in standard, that means that you're on the verge of being a master. Everything is creatively to a really, really high standard, and you've mastered the technical aspects, just being an inkling under the masters in the industry. That means that if you've placed among the gold winners next year, you'll be fighting among the masters for all the glory in the world.
And to win a silver, you need to have a great creativity shown in the piece, understand and have started to master composition, lighting, and just color.
All of it.
And on top of that, everything is done with high enough of application that it's neat enough to grant you a silver. If you won silver this year, if you just push yourself, spend some extra bit of time, who knows, you might be up there fighting for the gold next year.
To land a bronze, you need to have caught our eyes. We've not been as harsh on the technical aspects in bronze, but you've been creative beyond the norm. And you've shown strengths worth celebrating.
And with that said, let's move on to the winners of Diorama and Unit. And the bronze winners for Standard, Unit or Diorama are
And I can truly recommend anyone that likes miniatures, go check out the gallery of winners over on the website, because these few seconds shown here is just a fraction of all the goodness you're gonna be able to find if you look closer on the website. And with that, the silver winners for Unit and Diorama are...
And that leaves us for the gold winners of Unit Diorama category. You guys are Simon Wendt,
Dooney Dino,
Chu Jen Chen, and Adrian Semenyuk.
Dude, I freaking love those entries. It was so much fun judging this category. But there is more to be had, because now we're moving on to single miniature standard category. Let's do bronze.
Ah, man, those bronzes were pretty freaking epic. But now, let's do the silver ones.
And Lucas, the toughest category to judge of them all, because there was over 1,000 entries in single miniature standard category. And we have 3 gold winners, and these are Victoria Siguleva,
Chi Tjen, Etu Tarkamo,
Jason Chow,
Philip Hon,
James Wilson,
Lennart Mueller,
Lucas Kuhn, and Tom Pitcher. This category, Lucas, we're getting into large mini standard. The level was ridiculous. Winning a silver here it's really difficult, and gold even more so.
But with that said, let's have a look at all the amazing bronze winners.
And the silver winners for standard large models are...
And that leaves us for the gold winners of what turned out to be one of the most fun categories to ever judge, large mini standard. Mikael Hanstrup,
Balint Gauthier,
Lucas Rittner,
Freire Jorge Ariel Ignacio,
Sunny Lai,
Jonas Svensson,
Etu Tarkamo,
Chotiwat Rungurang. Lucas, we're heading into Masters, and again, I am so impressed with the level of the Master entries and the amount of good Master entries.
Even though I didn't participate.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos, guys.
To win a gold in Masters, you will have to have every aspect perfected. That means anything from composition to light to creativity to application. There is no flaws in your pieces.
Still having some of that top tier creativity and application in the entire world, just falling short that slight inch from the gold entries.
And finally, to win a bronze in Masters, your creativity is just beyond measure. But you do need to go home and maybe hone some of that application to reach you to the silver and gold level, but you're truly one-of-a-kind artist. With that, we want to introduce you all the bronze winners of Single Miniature Masters.
Silver winners, Single Miniature Masters.
And finally, Lucas, we got the gold winners that everyone has been waiting for. These are the winners. Michal Mikowski-Pasek,
Rafael Boyon,
Nicolas Ruben Mortensen.
That brings us to bronze winners of the Diorama/unit category for the Masters division. Here they go.
Getting into the silver category for Masters Diorama unit was, again, crazy. The level of these entries, I freaking love everything about it. So with that, guys, get ready for all of the silver winners in Masters unit Diorama.
And if you even can move on from those epic entries, here are the gold winners for Masters Unit Diorama. Erka Martio,
Benjamin Cantor,
Nicolas Rubens Mortensen, Michal Mikolovsky-Pasek.
and Lucas, the final category and possibly the one with most insane entries. The level of this is just insane. I don't think we need any more introduction. Get ready for all of the bronze winners in Masters large category.
And here we have all the silver winners for Masters Large Miniature.
And finally, the one you've all been waiting for, I guess. Maybe you're waiting for the best of show as well. But trust me, there's some amazing pieces in here. Gold winners for Masters large category. Bossard Timothée,
Thibaut Ram,
Jamie Cordwell,
Eric Swinson,
Alexi Carajallo,
Elisa Vivarelli,
Elena Vladimirova,
Liam Howell.
Patrick Hallberg. Oh my freaking shit.
You guys
Pants.
should just stop painting. It's kind of
This is
unfair for the rest of
ridiculous.
us. Just leave some for us.
Just get out of here. But Lucas, I think it's time for us to change the setting and show you guys all of the final winners for the best of prizes in this competition. Lucas, look at us. Unironed shirts with freaking 2 sizes too small suits.
Anything for the best of the best.
Before we give out the first of the awesome awards, massive thanks to Dennis Claessens, Harvey Dormer, Matt Avis. You guys have been legends helping us set up the website, program the system, and all the other stuff. You guys are the best.
And of course, a massive thanks to our guest judges, Angelo Di Cello, Albert Moreto Font, and Dave Cowell. You guys are absolute legends for helping us out.
I don't think we would have been able to come to this conclusion without them. They've been so vital to the judging part, so here we go, Lucas. And the winner for Best Squad Diorama Unit is Erka Martio. This beautiful rendition of Saga of the Seawolf. And this piece, I think, was a unanimous decision. Just a wonderful rendition, super creative build with the conversions and the base and everything. 10 out of 10.
Pretty decent.
Zero scam.
That brings us to the Best Single Miniature Award. And it goes to Michal Mikolovsky-Pasek and his piece Excrement Spreader.
Lucas, there is one more category that needs a best piece. And this one is Best Large Scale Award. And it goes to Eric Swinson. His wonderful piece, Korpikali Hunter. But I think now we're moving into the territory of the maybe more unique awards for the Squidmar Open painting competition. And the first one we have is Best Creativity and Originality Award. And the winner of this one wins one limited edition Infinity 2024 Squidmar Airbrush. And the winner is Roman Lapat with his piece Captive. And this goes to show that creativity is all in the mind. It is not about building the most epic, most expensive, most advanced piece. It is about evoking an emotion and doing something unique that no one else does. And Roman Lapat really does it, where he breaks the fourth wall using a glass monster for his tiny little mouse, and it looks amazing.
Moving on to one of the coolest, maybe most unique awards on the market, the Best Atmosphere Award. And this one also wins a limited edition Squidmar Infinity Airbrush. And the winner is Bussard Timothy and his beautiful dwarf Klin. And that this piece is winning this award is no mere chance. Just looking at the piece, you feel like you're in that snowy, cold environment, having that sunrise on the horizon behind you. You just get so captivated and feel everything. It's so beautiful.
And then we have the one category that's never been in a painting competition before, and that is Best Sona Miniature. Similar to the last two categories, this winner as well brings home an airbrush and an Infinity Squidmar 2024. And the winner is Jamie Cordwell with Brooke Moonturn. And the beautiful thing with this entry is that he has really transformed this piece into something unique. He's removed it from the owl that he's originally on, sculpted a new hand, given him a completely new spear as well, and it's a great mix of amazing painting but also creative converting.
Yeah. And all of this takes us to one of the coolest awards, which really has a special place in my heart. It's the Best of Standard.
Yeah, which is the best for all the entries that are not painted by already professional painters. And there were a big discussion. I think we had over an hour total of discussion to pick our favorite winner amongst the judges.
But in the end, we managed to find one. And this certain someone is Simon Wentz and his Sepulchral Guards.
Simon has just brought home a Squidmar Evolution 2024 airbrush because he really managed to do something unique for standard category, nailing both the painting and the composition and getting us all excited to go home and make our own tiny dioramas. Lucas, the last entry, and this one is actually sponsored by Frozen, and it's our favorite 3D printing brand. The winner is getting a Mighty Revo, which is probably one of the best 3D printers in the world right now for consumers. And a little bit of a caveat, because Lucas and I were kind of biased on some of these entries. And we were first hesitant on giving this prize to this person, because we felt like our clouded judgment could have influenced us in the decision, but thankfully the other judges were pretty adamant that this is the best piece in the competition, and this is the one that they want to push forward as the winner for Best of Show. And with that, Lucas,
I think it's time
for a grand reveal! Jamie Cordwell with Brooke Moonturn. Lucas, I am so freaking happy that we've done this competition, and I think it's safe to say we're coming back next year.
Maybe with some brand new categories such as Youngbloods, splitting some categories, and heck, maybe even a sculpting category.
That would be fun. If you have any ideas for the next competition, make sure to leave it down in the comment section. And of course, a massive thanks to this week's sponsor, BetterHelp, and
our amazing Patreons. Without you guys, we could never have done something like this. And especially our top donors, you guys are amazing.
Love you guys.